Yeah. I pushed 50 opponents off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves crash, pumping our sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, where is bent, the culture rich, where is sense, even more no grace. We'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic in the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Let's get ourselves going. For the afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are, morning. We're gonna get ourselves getting to out of here, and we'll see where else we go. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Cargo market. Wait. Oh, Indonesia. That's where that goes. Okay. We'll see. I'm actually gonna go rest today because we didn't rest yesterday like we normally do. And we got a trailer damage of 11. We're just gonna rest as much as we can. If it crashes, Really? Why did I get that restart and re... Ba, 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 ba. I don't know why that was... Why that was a bad... Why we... I don't get why we had to restart on that. You know what? I want a little bit more light in here. It's kind of a little bit darker. Let's do this. Let's check the cargo market. That's going to let me sell down that way. Which panels? That's going into Indonesia. Truly. Actually, I was gonna accept that, and then it's like, well, no. Because we're gonna at least rest at least once. Because I don't want to go anywhere and then have to... We'll do a couple. I'm not going to drive at night either. No, that's got a truck manager. We'll come down here, we'll upgrade you. Uh... Yeah, I'm gonna leave it the original. And then, boom. I just want to make sure. Okay, so it's the Viking setting, and we use the Sting. Okay. Uh, okay, then we put 2 there and the 2 down below. Alright, there, and we'll confirm you. Just so that we can make sure that everybody, can get the things that they need. Okay, before we go anywhere, that's going to Australia, actually, isn't it? Well, we could do that, and that's actually gonna... You know what, let's do that. Alright. Let... Go to Australia. And going to Australia by just traveling like that, we'll see how far we can go and get today. Hold on. Okay. Let's get ourselves out and about. um, get ourselves going. Get ourselves out of whatever country I think we're in. I don't know which country. I don't half these countries like I don't know. Like most they know a lot about the European countries. Most the major ones like Germany, France, Russia. I know that one not because it is part of Asia and Norway and UK and all of these, but I don't know exactly what country I'm truly in. In Turkmenistan. Okay. Never, never really, um, never really paid attention to, uh, I probably do remember that we were in Turkmenistan, I just forgot. Because, to be honest, like, I don't know a lot of countries out of the these United States, Canada, Mexico, Norway, Netherlands, Portugal, just going off Japan, China, North Korea, South Korea, Russia, Ukraine, Germany, France. What else do I know off the top of my head? Germany, um, Ireland, UK, Iceland, Poland, um, Switzerland, Greece. Trying to just going off the top of my head of what countries I absolutely know right off the top of my head. Um, uh, Taiwan. Um, sorry, buddy. I'll not see you back there. But I pretty much know, um, those are, uh, Spain, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, just a lot of those countries. I just know a lot more. Probably a few others in there, that I probably remember. Um, Italy, but a lot of stuff like I know Turkey, Hungary, but there's a lot of um, um, but to be honest, there's a lot of places I don't know. Um, there's a lot of countries I've never been to, or I've never been anywhere outside of the United States, to be honest. Um, so I've pretty much yeah, there's a lot of countries I probably know. I just don't know them right off the top of my head, to be honest. But thanks thanks Aiden Canary for joining the TikTok stream. For joining the live. To be honest, guys, like, there's a lot of things going on where, you know, you might forget. Like, there are a lot of things, like, that you might not know, and you might end up forgetting things. But sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you can just go and easily correct your mistake and come back and fix that mistake. But within the mistakes of these things, like, there are some major mistakes that we can fix and do things. But when you see Trump just talking about his health and his deterioration, a lot of things, it's like, you look at, you know, he sometimes gets Pakistan or gets portions of these countries mixed up, and you know, he even didn't, he sometimes doesn't know who's in the room or where people are at, you know, because you like hello, like, you're supposed to know these things beforehand and actually keep remembering those things. And if you're not out there trying to remember these things, then what's the point in trying to remember these points and these things? Like, if you aren't, you shouldn't be president if you are this way. If you have dementia or you have these things, like, if you, like, you should not be president because you have these issues that should never truly be going on. And that's a major point that I always like to make sure, is that not everybody gets the choice, and not everybody can just weather the storm on these diseases and just let it go. You know, a lot of people can, a lot of people just don't care. But if you're gonna be somebody that has these problems like dementia or these things, should not really be in any job or any anything for that matter, because at some point that person's gonna forget what they're doing, and that and at least I understand, at least the media's trying to wake up a little bit, trying to wake up to this thing and actually really pointing these things out. And I really hope that they continue to do so, because it needs to be done. It needs to be said that there are problems and it needs to be addressed. Nobody should, like, if you're going to be a high-ranking official, okay, I want to be able to know on a day-to-day basis on whether the president, if the president is ill, sick. We need to know those things so that we can maybe understand what's going on. Because if we don't, then then what's gonna happen to a lot of these major issues that come down when a president we don't know, and then then we have that. It's like, we need to know at least that on what's going on. And actually, like, if the media comes out and we see physical signs, they need to point it out, and need to actually not just point it out, but make sure that a majority of these people, that the majority of these issues need to come to the limelight and not be hidden from America. Now, I understand intelligence, I understand a lot of other things that need to be hidden because we need to protect America and that, but by protecting America, We need to know what's going on with the president. We need to know all of his health issues, or her issues, or their issues, or whoever's in office, to be honest. Because it's like Biden wasn't doing well either. Okay? But Trump wasn't doing well isn't doing well either, and it's just one of those things that you have to really think about what goes on and what can we do to not get crashed. Um, but we need to make sure that everything needs to be set up and needs to be done right and proper. We can't just go out and get there. Now, of course, there are other problems within the United States. That there's a lot of things that need to be fixed and need to be checked on for it. That problems arise and problems make those things a problem. Now, of course, there's one thing that is going to be a major problem probably here in the next couple of weeks. That are going to really question the validity of freedom to make a decision, freedom to choose. And that's going to be about the same-sex marriage. Basically, somebody didn't want to didn't want to allow same-sex marriage or do same-sex marriage because, and then she just didn't want to do any marriage at all. And it's like you don't want to do it, then why become a thing? Like, there are going to be times where you might have to break the rules in the church. You might have to because somebody, it's because you're doing your civic duty and making sure that, you may not agree with it. You don't have to agree with the same sex. You don't have to agree with the issue of the marriage equality, or you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with it, but you should at least just common decency and allow for people to be themselves and let them be them. You don't have to follow it. You can teach your kids about not to do it, but letting that happen, letting it go, is because it's somebody else's belief. It's somebody else's way of life. It's like it's like, for me, it's like, I don't go after, like, you shouldn't go after another religion just because they are actively there. But there are times where I'm gonna say, okay, well, that's not what it says in the Bible, but this is what you interpreted. That's fine. You can choose to believe it this way. But the one that I will always mention is the thing is the only one that I will mention is the medicine issue. That's the one thing that I pretty much, I'm not going to be somebody that I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to learn, but you're not gonna, like, if it gets out of hand to a point, if you are a MAGA supporter and you're starting to get out of hand to the point, you're just gonna get banned. You're not gonna get that suspension. It's not pretty much about the only thing within my thing that will get immediate ban. If you're willing to, we're willing to have issues on the LGBTQ, willing to talk, but if it gets way too out of hand on it and you're not willing to change, you're just gonna get banned and leave. Those are the things that will get you an entirety of a ban. Those are the two that will get you banned for pretty much entire stream. That's gonna get you banned the entire channel, whatever. Because I'm not gonna sit here and do things. I'm gonna be willing to listen. I'm willing to hear your side, but you also gotta be willing to hear mine and actually be civil about it. And that's how I do a lot of my things around here. That's why I don't care if same-sex marriage is legal or not. Like I do care. I want it to be legal so that those gay and lesbian people and anybody can have the right to marry the same gender. Because technically you marry a non-binary person. Like, I understand that. I'm starting to understand a little bit better about non-binary. It's taken me a long time to understand this more than any of the other portions of these things, but I am working on that. To be honest, the major ones I understand pretty much about the LGBTQ community myself is I understand transgenders, I understand the trans males, the females, I understand the transition from M to F, F to M. I understand the same-sex lesbians, gays. I understand the bisexuals too. Bisexual's pretty easy to understand. It's pretty much basically you wouldn't care to have sex with anybody because you'll have sex with basically male or female. I think there is like that. I don't understand the other genders that are out there. I don't understand the rest of the community. It's really tough to. I understand I understand the rubber community, to be honest. Like, I actually understand that the other one that I understand, but I don't understand a lot of other communities within the LGBTQ. Pretty much, because the point of the matter is like, it's like if it's easy to understand, it's so easy. I understand it, but there's a lot of times where I'm not understandable, where I do not understand everything, and stuff. And I'll tell you, like, I don't care what you do on a daily basis. You can choose to be yourself, and try to just understanding that sometimes we can change. We can have the ability to change our life and change our decisions, and make things better for society, and doing a lot of places in the world. And I understand that we just need to understand that if your next door neighbor is somebody that you dislike or dislike something about them because they're MAGA, we need to stop being so divided and just come work together and actually come together. It's like the Democrats are willing and wanting to come together and wanting to work with the Republicans, but the Republicans are saying, no, we're not going to do this. And it's like, why aren't you going to do it? Because you're somebody that can't get along with them, because you're not willing to listen. And if you're not willing to listen, then what's the point? And what's the point of being in office? You need to understand that, you know, look, like, the whole reason that I absolutely just stand with the community on most of the things, as long as we're basically, most Americans, like, you look at it, most Americans are yeah, most people listen. Most people are willing to listen to the these people, and most people are willing to listen to society. And you know, the biggest um the biggest thing about um a lot of things on society is that most Americans just want to be able to live their day-to-day life, want to just basically be able to take care of their family, and a lot of it is not being done. A lot of it's not, like, it's not being done by the stretch of the means. And you know, that's why I said most LGBTQ people just want to live a day-to-day life. You know, in America's built on the people, built on the immigrants, built on a lot of things. Like, you can go to Canada and have that exact same experience, be that Canada's built upon immigration. You know, we're built upon immigration. We were built upon immigration since 1776. The United States was founded on immigrants, not on Native Americans, not on on the people that were here before us. It was built upon immigration, and we need to embrace that for us as a society, us as an American life, and take that as our thing, that we shouldn't be out and about pushing an agenda on somebody, on somebody. We shouldn't be out there pushing people. Like, if you don't agree with trans people, don't don't watch the content. You can make those decisions. Don't, you know, that's kind of why one of the things is, like, it's like, if the vast majority of people, if you look at the, I said this before, if you look at the trans community, you look at this, or any LGBTQ topic, like, I want to learn about the, I want to learn about both. I want to learn about both sides. I want to learn about individual things on I want to learn about it. You know, I'm not here to not learn, and not here to here to leave or to basically go and hurt somebody. I'm not. I'm not somebody out there that wants to basically, I just want to learn and understand differences and understand where people are coming from. It's like the other day, you know, I wasn't even gonna think about watching it. I wasn't even really thinking about it. But it's like the biggest thing that it is within this thing is like you look at YouTube and you look at the place of things. A lot of things that I go out and see on YouTube through the shorts, or go out and see through um, these things is like most of the time I see a lot of slop, a lot of faults, um, a lot of falsehoods, and a lot of things that um, are not necessarily the truth, um, or not necessarily the truth, but necessarily um, dumb things. Like I've gone through and seen some things. Like there have been some things that are just not like why are you posting that on freaking Facebook? You know, and why are you posting it? Like some things I don't understand. Like it should not be posted because, you know, yes, I'm an adult, but some of these things should not be on Facebook because Facebook is a 13 plus thing, and there's some things that are there that shouldn't really be there because of this. Same on YouTube, but you know, and Reddit's a lot better at this. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but Reddit is a little bit better at controlling the not safe for work stuff. They're better at controlling these things than the rest, than YouTube, and I'm not saying YouTube is kind of better at it too than Facebook, to be honest. Like you know, I was sitting there watching a thing from Facebook um on this company that basically and I wanted to look for it, and I couldn't find any information on it. I couldn't find any reviews, couldn't find anything. You know, if you have at least have reviews, like I'm willing to at least making sure is like if people are buying a product. I could not find anything where people are buying the product. Um and pretty much I found this thing that I really love, and to be honest, um uh but there are times where we have this thing that these scams out there that, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, I'm a big proponent in um okay. Now we have some trailer damage. Um, we're gonna go down to the other side of this. But we got a car that's sitting there doing we got a vehicle there that's doing nothing, so we'll hopefully go down here um and get it. But like the biggest thing is like I've always been into um I always like wearing puffer stuff. Like that's just one of those things. You know, I will tell you, it's like I'm always in it liking wearing winter coats and winter things sometimes. Mostly, mostly like I don't care. Like I can deal with the winter. I can deal with the summer. I like summer more than I like the winter because I just prefer to wear shorts and a t-shirt pretty much. But I can deal with both sides, and I like winter too. I like all seasons, to be honest. But you know, it's one of those things um where and 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 I just like having the ability to do things of that nature, do things of it. And I found this thing where it's like, but where I like the what's being done and what's being used, but or what's being used for um how can I put it this way? Um, I liked the puffer stuff because I liked the thing that they had the one of the companies had a blanket going on that was a puffer blanket, and I wanted a puffer blanket. But I'm like not just genuinely. I wanted to see if there was anything available for it, and I could not find any available information. I could just find that their product, like you have to go and DM the person, you have to go and D, and you have to make contact, and it's like, well, but I don't trust it. I don't trust that kind of process because that process there. Wait, did I? I did not. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because I'm always big into finding things that just allow for it where I'm always into kind of that stuff, and I'm not saying that. And so basically, you know, you got to be careful with what you see on the internet, what you do, and what you view. It's like I'm seeing a lot of now. Seeing a lot of AI going on. I see a lot of Sora. I see a lot of this AI, and I'm like, I don't want to see. I don't want to be around AI on a 24/7 basis. Um, you know, but the thing of the but the thing of it is when you look at uh 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 when you look the at the stuff on the internet, it's like you got to be careful because if you look at Timu, like I wanted, like there's a thing on Timu with the Adidas, like the Adidas pair of pants that really looks really nice, really looks really something I would wear um because I wanted to replace the Adidas snapbacks that I have already um because they're just tethered at the bad at the bottom, and because I'm kind of was thinking of stuff for Christmas and things, and to be honest, like you know, you go look at it and it's like you gotta pay attention. Like if you're gonna buy something, you gotta make sure that it's truly authentic and not something that's gonna be like out of reach. You know, for me, I don't usually like to spend personally, like there are things that I will not spend on. Um, you know, for me, when I go and look at things, it's like I'm not gonna go buy on cheap stuff as much anymore because I have that major issue. I have not only with that, but I also have this thing where, you know, I will take into a little bit of consideration. Sometimes I might break the rules if there's something I really 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 want. Um, but most of the time, I will, like shoes, I will not spend more than 150 on a pair of shoes. There's been an occasional where I'll spend like I spent 160 on a single pair of shoes, but to be honest, like I'm not going out there to go out and spend like that. You know, the shoe brand that I personally would, you know, but this Christian Satori brand that I have that I have promoted, um, that I also am somebody that's actually willing to um, promote them, because I'm willing to actually like, okay, I am, they're handmade. I am willing to do that, and it's a legit company. It's not like some backwater company that's trying to scam you. You know, um, let's go down here. I always do the wheels to replace, and then I hit confirm. Because if everything else is only a wear and tear for like 1% wear and tear, like I'm not gonna complain. If it's like 2% wear and tear, like I usually don't in a game like this, but it's the same thing. It's like I won't buy like shirts. Like I won't spend more than $30 on a plain t-shirt. Crops no more than $20 on a crop, maybe 25 if depending. Um, but and then I will like jackets, sweatshirts, things like that, like long sleeved. Like I basically just put in an extra $10 on it. Um, you know, like this jacket right here that I'm wearing, because I actually personally um, won't spend more than 40. There have been times where I have maybe spent 50 on something, but it's mostly I will stick to wearing $40 on things unless it's the hand done, hand made. Um, that way, I pretty much make um, like coats. Like I won't spend more than $100 on a coat. Like to be honest, like $100 on a winter coat. Like I live in like the coldest part of the one of the coldest parts of the United States. To be honest, like I want something that's gonna be able to support me in a lower winter area and then a higher winter and stuff. And I'm willing to spend 100 if it's like for, but you know, I won't. And to be honest, it's like, and I won't spend more than, like, if it's a snowsuit, like I have one sitting in my room. I have two actually, two full-on snowsuits that could be worn for skiing or whatever. Um, I have one for pretty much that goes all the way down for it, and I won't spend more than $100 on it. Like I won't spend more than 150 on it, and that's just with the suit itself. But I can't even really put 100, to be honest. Like I like if I can get one for that, I'm going to be more cautious about how I spend my things. You don't need to go out and spend $2,000 on a on a jacket that you can spend for less than $1,000 on anything. Like if you can spend less than $1,000 on something, wearing a winter coat, and you're going to wear it, but then you are hot and you're like sweating because it's the. But it's like, you know, like here it's like you're gonna get like 30 degree, negative 30 degrees here, Fahrenheit. Like, you can get down pretty chilling cold, like that. I'm like, and see, that's just South Dakota, but it's also how it can happen here in Minnesota and these places where people don't really understand the point of, if you are somebody that lives in, say, Texas or Florida or California or even New Mexico or whatever southern states, and you're coming here to live in Minnesota, you're gonna be a rude awakening for winter. Winter's like 6 days out of the year. It's pretty much, we only get like 2 seasons, like genuinely 2 seasons if you really want to be technical. Like sometimes you'll get like a third, like you get like a third season, um, but it's like a brief. Like you get like your fall is brief, your spring is brief too. To be honest, it's not like it's not like you March, um, April showers bring May flowers kind of thing. It's more of, you're going to possibly, um, possibly you're gonna get, your winter's gonna be pretty much 6 months out of the year. You're gonna be feeling probably winter. You're probably maybe 5 months out of the year, truly 5 months, but it's most like you're going to get like September, um, is you're pretty much gonna be like your September, your Octobers are gonna be starting to get the colder, or starts to get colder, it starts to get more winter-like, fall-like, but colder fall-like. And then you get your winter in your November, December, January, February, March, April, pretty much, and even May. You're gonna get all of that is gonna be pretty much 6 months out of the year, and you're gonna pretty much get it like winter, like that. And it's like, people think they, oh no, you don't get it. You don't understand. When you come in from a southern state, you're not gonna understand the winter temperatures. And and it's one of those things where, that's kind of why I'm like, I can deal with it. I'll deal with whatever comes in. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not somebody that's out there, um in a lot of these places, and picking a lot of, uh I don't know what I'm saying, but to be honest, it's one of those things where I look at a lot of the process that, you know, getting back to the topic of scamming, like there's scams all over. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, one of the things that I will tell you, I will never contact you. Like, if you see something, if you see a thing, I will never DM you or contact you, um, on, or send you to another platform of any kind. Um, I will basically message you right on this platform. I'm not going to send you to go to YouTube to do this, unless I'm telling you, hey, um, go watch this, or I'll send you to my Discord, or I'll send you to one of my platforms that I watch. If you do not see me actively on, um, if you do not see me on TikTok, uh, if you do not see me anywhere but TikTok, Trovo, YouTube, um, or Twitch, or Blue Sky, or Discord, um, or Instagram for that matter. If you do not see me on any, you will not see me on any other platform. You will not see me on WhatsApp. You'll not see me on um, you'll not see me on Cash App. You won't see me on these other places on a lot of that. Most of the time, you'll see me primarily, um on a lot of those things. You'll see me primarily on those platforms now. The only platform that you'll see me less active on is Twitch, and Discord. I'm not active on those two platforms, but I have a Discord server. I'm not active. Most of the time I have Discord so I can check up on a lot of my news for the GMC community, so that I can check up on a lot of news for Fortnite, um, and Barnacle, and I'm not active really on these platforms. I pretty much am mostly active. The biggest one that you're going to find me active on the most is Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Those are the three platforms I'm pretty much active on. Um, and I'm active on here on Trovo too, but I'm not active anywhere other than streaming. Um, so if you see me posting another, you should probably just check and make sure. Um, I am not like I'm gonna be somebody that also does not do um like I will not go to your platform and um I will not send you to these to any WhatsApp or Cash App or any of these platforms. If you catch me on X, that's not me. I pretty much am not on X. I've pretty much am no longer there. But there's a lot of times where vehicle adjustments, adjust the lights. Um, so that way we can get things going. Um, but I'll tell you, like, I am somebody that will, and if you see me on YouTube, you'll see me only on two channels. You won't see me anywhere else. You only see me um, through my main channel here, my YouTube channel, my second YouTube channel, Sneaker Maddie Rocks, sorry, Maddie Matt Sneakers, not Sneaker Maddie Rocks. That was my old name before I switched it because I literally went and switched it immediately when I found the mistake. To Maddie Matt Sneakers because of an error made by me through creating a pair of Nikes that I kind of don't wear much at all. I don't I this sweatshirt I don't very rarely wear very often. It's not an occurrence because I don't wear a lot like wearing a lot of green. I don't like wearing a lot of um uh um blue. Like I'm not a big fan of green, to be honest. It's one of those colors that I'm not a fan of a lot of the time. A lot of green. Pretty much the only color that I'm really a fan of is, and my whole setup is based around the color pink because that's my favorite color. I will not build in any other color other than pink, and that's it. Like I make pink as my primary thing. I make it so that it's all based around being the um for it. But it's one of those things where, for me, when you look at things, you got to be cautious, and you got to make sure that these things, like, you might find out that they're there, but that it might be like a legit Uzbekistan. Um, so is that going to hold on. Okay. Um, so Uzbekistan is forward, but um, so yeah, it's kind of like you need to be leery about things and make sure, double check, find legitimate, find ways, use AI if you have to, make sure, because, you know, that's the one time where I do think AI is a good thing, where you need to double check, make sure that things seem legit, like, look up the number, like, if you don't recognize the number don't. Um, it's like one of the things that, I did, and I ended up finding something else in return, found something else that actually is more legit than anything else, is this, and I'm gonna say it because guess what, I don't care, this isn't like I try to make sure that it's completely, somewhat, mostly 13 plus, with a occasional, like TikTok and Trovo are pretty much considered 18 plus, because I have it set that way so that when my night streams are pretty much where I swear, like my night streams are pretty much a swear haven. I try to keep YouTube pretty much clean as much as I can. I try to keep my afternoons clean because I want to be able to have it set up that where you can, like, if you have kids in the background or you have kids, it allows for you to be more peace of mind that, you know, you have your kids there. Now, of course, you're living in another country, and you're watching. You're probably not going to understand a lot of this situation. But anyway, so basically, I was looking up these things, like I said, I was looking up this things that came out, and I saw a blanket that I really liked, or no, it actually wasn't a blanket, but yeah, I did see something like that. I saw another company similar to something similar that was selling these puffers, and I like I said, I love the puffer thing, but one of the things that was seen um, was that basically it looked like a lot of like underwear pretty much, but it was a puffer style of of these pants that just really were really nice. They like, and I really liked them and I really wanted them, but I had to make sure that this company was legit before I do anything. I ended up coming across somebody else um, from the same country that actually was um, doing it, called, and it's actually a legit person. It's a single person doing it. It's not like a multiple. Um, oh, do we have any rest points along this route? Cause that's the only place that's gonna be down here for it, and that's 2 hours and 52-minute check time. We need to, if you're coming out here, you need to really check your surroundings on these things. Um, and to be honest, you really need to be thinking about when you look at something, make sure you double check, make sure that it's a legit business and not some fake thing going on. And the easiest thing, thanks user for liking the live, the easiest thing that you can do when checking for products is, do they have a storefront? Okay, if they don't have a storefront, check to see if are they willing to, are they selling it on on the merit of, can I get it through, somebody seeing it through, actually wearing it, actually trying it on, not as a legitimate place. And if you can see somebody trying on this item or for clothing, or you see that it seems that you still have some peace of mind that they're, you can also always check when you check your company. Don't go and buy from like sketchy places that might not be exactly the things that you're looking for, because sometimes if you're buying a graphics card, make sure you're buying it from reputable sources like Java, Newegg, Amazon, um, and make sure that it has a legit good reviews and stuff, and make sure that it's there. Like if it's somebody that just randomly just started selling one item and they only have one item, you gotta be kind of questioning it a little bit, but still make sure that you check your listings on eBay. Make sure that you're following these things just to make sure that things seem legit. You know, don't um, don't just push, and make sure that the product that you're buying, like these puffer underwear, or looking on buying things from Facebook, that you might see something there, and you might be like, okay, you need to actually really check and do your due diligence and make sure that it's legit, and don't just go in and expect like WhatsApp. Like if somebody, if they are presenting that way, you probably need to be leery about it. That's why I never use WhatsApp. That's why I never use um, Telegram. That's why I won't use those kind of messaging apps. Signal might be one that I would use if I needed to use it, but I don't use that if I had to really use it, and I don't need to right now. Okay, I can keep it on high beams because that's fine, but it's one of those things where make sure that you double check and make sure that you are absolutely doing your part, and making sure that you don't just do things like don't. That's what the biggest thing is. I won't do giveaways. I'm not somebody that's gonna do a giveaway. If I'm gonna do a giveaway, it's going to be directly on the channel, live. I'm never going to do it in any way, shape, or form. If I am, I'm gonna do it legitimately to places that are absolutely doing some great work and great things. Um, like I don't do giveaways. I've kind of learned to not do giveaways. Even if I had the money, I still probably might not do giveaways anymore, because why? I'm not. Um, it's a time where people should not be. It's an hour and 27. Okay. No, there's no police cars around. There's nobody around right now. So I'm just going to take the 90 miles an hour speed limit. No, I know it's telling me 40 miles an hour, but it was like nobody around, nobody gonna tell me I can't do this. So I'm pretty much just at the whim of of throwing up this dust. And I don't care. I need to get to a place and I need to get there quickly. Hopefully we can get there in a decent time. Like, I have to be more cautious about coming out here. If you're gonna be coming out here to pretty much the Turkmenistan area and you're following the same playbook that I'm using here, it's okay. But the thing of it is, guys, is like I don't care. Like you can, like the biggest thing is like I tell you is like I'm not gonna question. I'm not going to question what you wear. I'm not gonna say these things. Like you can choose however you want to live your life, and that it's like I'm not gonna bash you for having certain things. Like now if you're somebody that happens to be transgender and likes Harry Potter, I'm gonna question your decision. I will question some of that because it's like you're following somebody that's going actively against you. Why would you want to support J.K. Rowling? Why would you want to actively spend your time going after a why'd you want to go out and spend your hard-earned money on somebody that's gonna hurt you and harm you? That's the thing is like I look at that. That's the time that I will say that. Like I'm not like if you're going out and buying from Target, I'm not gonna complain if you do, but if I see that you're I don't complain about where you go and spend your money, but I will take into consideration that I'm not gonna go out and spend my money there. I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna sit and spend my money at Target anymore. Like I won't spend my money at Target. It's the biggest one of those things where if you're willing to not support DEI, not willing to support the community that actively needs help, that actively needs more help than anything else, it's like you're not like I know I'm gonna have some people saying that it's gonna be a divided portion of this ideology or whatever that I always said, oh well you should be it's like there are some things that I will not actively do. Like if I have multiple places to shop, I'm gonna find the place that's going to give me the opportunity to where hey, I'm gonna shop there, I'm gonna shop at this place because they're actively um aha boom. Like why is there a gas can here? Hola. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream there. There. Wow, total price. Wait, what country are we in right now? We're still in Turkmenistan and I paid $24 for gas? Nice. Nice. It's like I don't care. You can you can have and wear whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I don't care if you're somebody that is fat and wearing crop tops. I don't care if you're um uh I don't care if you're somebody that is not having the best driving, but I will question you a little bit if you're driving and you're gonna be drunk or whatever. Then yeah, there's gonna be some issues. But that's I know I'm avoid sleeping. Like most of the time, I don't care as long as you're willing to help your neighbor, willing to help people, willing to do that. And you know, I don't care if you're sitting out there like somebody that loves to wear latex and or wear whatever you want as long as you know that hold on. Where okay. Resting is over here, right? Um name of the map? Um well, that's kind of a hard one. I use pretty much basically I use a lot of the Russia, Asia stuff. I just picked a whole bunch of stuff pretty much going into Asia. I use a lot of some of Russia. I don't use everything. I just wanted the Donbass region to be honest, but in order to do that I had to have Moscow, Russia. Um, I I pretty much use pretty much everything that I can possibly use. I in GMC except for Russian maps. Um, unless it was in a European standpoint with Donbass or anything that was available to me. Um, and I've actively do that, and I'm going to tell you I'm not on 1.56 yet because of a lot of the issues with map stuff. But I I did a video on all the maps I do use. Um, but I am concerned as to why I cannot rest here. Um, yeah, it's the classics 1.55 map selection. I pretty much used everything in there except for, like I said, like I did. Oh, and I also did not use the other type maps either, unless it's a um in there. I didn't use the other type either, unless it was I think Nehru, Canada, and I think there's like another one in there that I used. Um, but that's all I used. I didn't actively use. I have like 54 mods installed, and not all of those are actively um, yeah, I don't get why I can't sleep here. Um, okay. What we're gonna do is, I know this is gonna sound really weird. I'm gonna try something. Um, I'm gonna load in because I'm having issues trying to figure out why can't I sleep in this spot. Some of these portions of the map are not there fully. Okay, nope, no. Okay, I need to go back one more save because it's ridiculous that I can't get access to this lady can't get access to some of these areas. Like some of these places are not actively like fully developed, I guess. It's like I want to save here, but I can't save. Ugh. Like I might have to just go on. I might just have to go on further, and I'm gonna have to incur a lot of places. You have to incur a lot of places within it. Now, of course, a lot of things that I will tell you. Um, if you guys are interested in wanting to see things that I wear on a daily basis, or just see some of the outfits that I potentially wear that I probably don't, and I will tell you, you can check out my secondary channel, Matty Mad Sneakers, on YouTube. I pretty much am actively um, doing both of these things, where I've actively have gone in and shown you guys unboxing of brands that you probably never heard of. Why Are You, Dolls Kill, let's see, um, you know, I've unboxed Pumas, I've unboxed Adidas, I've unboxed Nikes. I have a couple pairs of Nikes that there I have, you know, um, Warren Osiris and other things that you guys can see through a lot of the decisions and the things that I've done and used for a lot of what I have used and what I have done over the years of what I've spent on and things that I probably shouldn't have spent on, but I do. But I pretty much some of the stuff I tend to wear, not everything. Um, and some of it's just pretty much stuff that I got for like Christmas or things where I'm not. I am thankful that I have what I have and trying to find a job that as soon as I can find a job. Um, that you know, as soon as I can find a job, I'm going to be able to get back that channel going again. Because I'm going to be spending a lot less on Fortnite, a lot less um, on it because there's like no way I am going to be able right now. I can't even do anything. I've been trying to find a job, to be honest. Um, and and I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm actively going to look into trying to find one. I've pretty much, I think I have another one that I could apply for that it will cut off on this. I don't get why that's like that. Sometimes driving out here, uh, pretty much I'm working on my way towards the Russian side of things. Not the Russia, but to Australia, from Turkmenistan. And in order to get there, it's going to take me 89 hours. And in order to just be able, um, In order to get there, it's going to take me 15 hours, which you guys probably won't see the full finish of this. You might, because today's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Um, you know, um, you know, it's one of those things that I've actively, I will tell you, like, I primarily stick with pro mods, and then I use whatever's pro mods on in 1.55. There are some places where, I won't, like, I want to go to 1.56, but in order for me to go to 1.56, I need to, pretty much, go down on a lot of my map selections, and I don't want to do that. Like, I am not somebody that's pretty much, that does not want to stick to, I want to stick to as much mods as I can. The only one that I did not do that with was the American Truck Simulator, which is at 1.56. That 1.56 is pretty much used for, as a full-on, is a full-on, 1.56 for fully, where I actively fully, look into the, into wanting to use Beyond. I said, you know what, I'll just give up the Beyond portion on American Truck, for now, because Beyond is on its way. We're going to get their public release at some point, but they're having some issues with that, so I can't get into Beyond. I can't get into things like that. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna do something. We're gonna rotate around. And then we should be able to rest up here. Yep. And this will incur us less having to, and if you're wanting to know what mods I use and what maps I use, I do have a thing up on my channel, that you guys can always look up, on all the maps I use, every single one of them. For Euro Truck and American Truck, I do have there. If it's not there, let me know, and I will, share the maps that I use. Pretty much, I use the extended tab. I do use pretty much. The other is the only one that's less likely to be for me to use. I don't have Dreamland. I don't have, on it, but I only, I pretty much on that one is just using Canada Nehru, and I think the one on the far right, on that one. So, and then I just don't do the Russian stuff. I do use Asia. I do have the Russian map because I wanted to get into having the Donbass region of that, and I might figure out some way to what's the best way to get to the Donbass region, because normally I like to look into things um, and that, and I love just being able to drive and just have fun doing it. But it's about time for me to get off, guys. As soon as I can get rest, I'm gonna get off, and we will catch you guys later, because I'm gonna not sit here and drive for too much longer, because look, 15 minutes, we're not gonna even be able. 15 minutes is not gonna get me to here. So that's the difference. Now, where are we at now? We are in Uzbekistan. Alright. Okay. Yeah, that's like cheap down here. Now I'm trying to finally see drivers again, to be honest. Okay, we're gonna put ourselves here on the side of the road, and we will catch you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed today, and if you guys enjoyed yourselves, remember to come back to tomorrow possibly. Remember, I am live pretty much oops, I said 25. I'm pretty much live every day, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, usually. I should say, no, I'm live Sunday to Friday, in the afternoons from 3 till, 5:36. Thanks, Aaron, for joining the TikTok live, but we're getting off here shortly, Aaron, so, pretty much we are, taking this, afternoon pretty much for, Euro Truck right now. I'm pretty much in Euro Truck. I'm not into American Truck for whatever reason, I don't know why. And then, we do not only that, at night, Jamo Glazer1 for joining as well. Thank you for joining the TikTok live. But At night, we do pretty much Fortnite and Call of Duty. I want to start maybe figuring out a way to change a little bit of that up, but I pretty much Euro Truck, pretty much that the afternoon. Sometimes I'm on Saturday, but not always. If Barnacle isn't on, I probably just take Saturdays off anyway for afternoons. Doesn't, but on occasion I might be live in the afternoon. Anyway, if you already saw the things about the Trump situation earlier, I talked about that. Basically, his health is kind of deteriorating. It's just mainstream media's more talking about it. You know, the same-sex ruling is coming in a week or two, and we just have to be ready for it. And we just know that hopefully they rule on that we'll continue to have it, and hopefully that it sticks that way. And also, I talked about earlier about scams. Remember, there was a thing that I was following on TikTok. I mean, not on TikTok, but on Facebook, that I was just happened to be scrolling, and I saw a reel that was for puffer jackets on Facebook. Not a puffer jackets, more or less puffer underwear that were like in the puffer material for like jackets and stuff, and it was a scam because I really wanted a pair, and it was actually a scam. So just be careful what you see out in there. And I did find something else that actually is not a scam that I will probably do at some point. But you can always be careful what you do on the internet. Don't just go there and watch a scam. Don't believe everything that you see, because you got to be careful. Anyways, guys, we'll see you guys later tonight. We'll be playing some Fortnite or Call of Duty. Not for sure on that one yet. Mostly it's Call of Duty Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays usually Fortnite. So if you want to see that, you can come back at night here on Trovo and TikTok for free by hitting that follow button. You can watch my afternoon streams on YouTube for free by hitting that subscribe button. But if you want to see my past live streams, you can hit that subscribe on Trovo, or on Trovo for not for free. It's a little bit expensive, or my afternoon streams right here on YouTube for free by doing that subscribe. And make sure you guys hit that bell notification with you all, because if you don't, you're not going to get notified when I do go live. And if you guys enjoyed, hit that like, and we will catch you guys in the next one.